What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week Follow. So today, since there's no game week, there's no Villa games going on. It's international break, as they call it. We thought we'd do a little bit of an episode on the Champions League, how it's gone so far, what we're thinking. The big question is, can we win the fucking thing?
Can we
win it?
Can we win the Champions League? According to every pundit, Sky Sports, TNT, absolutely not. Paul Merson on Sky Sports said we're going to get battered by PSG.
If you'd asked anyone at the end of last season, would we get to the quarterfinals?
Oh, yeah, well, not a chance, mate.
If you asked anyone at the start of last season, would Villa get to the Champions League?
Well, yeah. Anyone outside of Villa fan base, absolutely not. I think the only people that believe are the ones that...
Even start of last season, I don't think any of us were thinking, Champions League. Europa League, maybe, but not Champions League.
Well, this is it. We've. If you think, I still can't believe that we've gone from 5 years ago, being in the Championship, to being in the quarterfinal of the Champions League.
Very different champs, innit? Yeah,
mind blown still, mate.
Absolutely.
So, enjoying the ride. Obviously, we've had strong opinions about kind of where we should be and where we should finish this season, and kind of, can we win it? The ultimate big question. And my answer is yes, we fucking can.
Right. Just to get to this, right. Now, we've got arguably one of the best knockout European football managers.
Yeah, in the world, right. Mate. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of he got, was it Villarreal, or he got to the Sevilla? He got Villarreal got to the Champions League final, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Well, Champions League semi-final, they got knocked out.
Semi-final. Right, okay. Yeah. Now, just to quickly look at this, right? Now, it might be a bit small on some people's phone screens or whatever. It's the only orientation I could really get it all in. So,
Champions League are annoying.
Now, my theory on this, now, you might think I'm insane, is I think if we beat Paris, I think we've got a great chance of winning the thing. I think if we can get past Paris, I think PSG is massive. Obviously it's massive, right? But I think Bayern, we've shown we can do it already, right?
Yeah.
Inter are a very organized team, but they don't blow me away personally. I think they're a very, very good team, and they are a bit dark horses, I think, in this tournament. But
I agree.
All those teams on the other side of the bracket, it's a one-off 90-minute game, and on any day we can beat anyone. So I think we could beat Dortmund, we could beat Barcelona, we could beat Bayern, or we could beat Inter in a 90-minute game. So the question is if we can get past PSG. If we get past PSG, why can't we beat Real Madrid? For me, that's the case of we'll go in there on such a high. It'll be so big. And I'm not going to lie, Arsenal over two legs, I fully expect to beat them if we got there.
Well, mate, the thing is they're all ifs, buts and maybes. But like you said,
I might just be drinking the Kool-Aid, the Claret Blue Kool-Aid.
Mate, drink the Kool-Aid, because I don't care what you say, right? That we're okay. Granted, we are the underdogs. We shouldn't beat Real Madrid. I fancy Real Madrid to beat Arsenal. I'd be amazed if they don't, over two legs. I think.
Although Madrid were lucky, man, against Atleti. Really lucky.
Yeah. Well, because Atleti parked the bus, which is what which is what they were capable of doing, and and a very dodgy penalty call. But Real Madrid are one of those. They're not. I don't think they've been the best side in Europe for years. But however, because of the experience they have and the firepower they've got up front, right? Yeah. They have enough to turn a game on its head in a couple of minutes. They could, they did it in the final last year. They would, if Dortmund had scored first, that game they had about 5 chances in the first half. The game would have been over.
Mate, you know what we've got?
Go on,
Marco Asensio, mate. We've got fucking Marco Asensio.
He went to Madrid and won the league in Spain. He went to Paris. He did the same again. He's fucking magic. And don't you fucking know his name is Marco Asensio. Don't fall in love with lone players. It's too late. Yeah, mate. I think just reading stuff today, like obviously we are massive underdogs, and we can't underestimate PSG, but they can't underestimate us either. And
No, not at all.
I think if we go to Paris and play like we know we can, right, in these one-off games.
One goal in it.
One goal in it. Mate, if we could get a draw in Paris, either a score draw
if we
or
get
nil-nil.
If we get a draw, for me, we're through. Like,
I fancy us.
If we get a draw, I'm like, yeah. But I'd snap your hand off for like a 1-0 loss, 2-1 loss, something like that. I would absolutely snap your hand off for that.
Look, I know that we had that horrible game against Crystal Palace, right, where we got battered, absolutely battered in the second half, particularly, right? But we've won the last 4. Okay, granted, that's Cardiff, 2 Champions League, but Brentford away was a tough game, and we came away and won it.
Yeah.
I think we win the Champions League game as comfortably as we did.
I still believe Bruges at home was a bit of a masterclass. Although I feel like I've been showing up a little bit on that with Emery's post-match press conference, where he basically said we didn't do any of the shit I wanted us to do. Well, I was like, no, it was the plan all along. Obviously, no. He basically said
it wasn't supposed to be that slow in the first half against Bruges, right? I understand, right? And then you've got, and I've said this for the last couple of weeks, right? I feel like we're on the edge of greatness, have turned something around, and that those 4 results.
Asensio is that key.
Well, mate, McGinn is interviewing in the Birmingham Live is the source, so don't take it with a pinch of salt, right? But basically, they interviewed him, and he was saying, like, this guy, like Asensio, is just next level, and he's not even fully fit yet. So whether he plays 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, like, the guy's got enough. Obviously, he'll have a point to prove to Paris because he didn't get, he'll feel probably aggrieved that he hasn't got game time. And I know there's the loan thing, that he's still their player, but
can you imagine him starting against PSG with this like point to prove?
Like fire in your belly, mate.
Mate, he's good. And what's mental as well? Sorry, I don't mean to butt in, but like Emery was even saying that obviously we're managing his minutes at the moment because he's still not fully fit, and I'm just like, what? Can you imagine this guy like fully fit, flying, like starting? And we might be able to buy him for 15 million euros. What's happening now?
If this
guy, weird bubble we're living in here.
If this guy's part of us winning the Champions League, right, and it's a big if, right, but it's time to start building statues for both Emery and Asensio, mate, because they've just changed the dynamic of our whole team. So I'm really hopeful that we're turning the corner going into these games, right, and we should play with absolutely no fear. Now, a little bit of a reference to Newcastle winning the Carling Cup yesterday, or the Carabao Cup, Carling Cup from where I come, because that's what it was when Villa last won it. So, right.
Congrats, by the way, to all the Geordies out there. Well done.
Brilliant result.
You've won the lowest form of Premier League domestic cup.
But mate, they won it because they just wanted it more. They wanted it more yesterday. Like their desire to win the duels and everything. And Liverpool just looked tired and defeated from the start. Like Newcastle started well, and
PSG game completely knocked the stuff out of them, I think.
Well, yeah, and look, we'll get onto it in a minute with the stats, but PSG have not had a great run into this to get to where we are. Yes, they played well against Liverpool, right? But we played well against Liverpool and should have beaten them. Now, this is the graphic I was looking at. For all you TikTok people, you're gonna have to tune into the YT to see this one because I can't magic the graphic up here, right? But basically, I'll read it out. So it's kind of.
But on the left, PSG's record in the Champions League this season. On the right, Villa's record in the Champions League this season.
Yes, and so both 10 games, 14 goals, 13 goals scored. So we're only a goal behind them in that. Conceded magically, we've been better in the Champions League without, in a Premier League. Shocking, we've conceded like every other game, I think it is, or something like that. It works out to. But yeah, so we've, our defensive record is good in the Champions League. Okay, they've had more shots, which is understandable.
Sorry, every other game, Gaz. No. It must work out as every game. We've only had 3 clean sheets in the Premier League.
Oh yeah, that's even worse. I was trying to be nice, mate, but yeah, but there you go.
I think it's like 1.5 goals a game. It works out as something. So we have to score 2, like, to win a game.
1.5 goals a game. Shocking,
Yeah.
mate. Minus 4 goal difference in the Premier League. It's not good
Anyway.
enough. You know, our shots on target is interesting because I wonder how many of those are Ollie Watkins, right? But
it seems like we're more clinical than them.
Well, yeah, if you look at that, shots on target, goals for us,
corners, resulting in 0 goals, probably.
Yeah, corners result. That should say corners resulting in throw-ins for opposition. 40 of them. And the point is, that's a fairly even kind of stats showing there, right? You wouldn't be going, okay, there you go. That's what it is. We're coming out more or less on top. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we're at least coming out relatively equal, right? Like with the amount of games we've scored over 2.5 goals more than them.
3 goals more than them.
2.5. Yeah, scored. Yeah, exactly. And matches won more. Both teams to score.
So,
they've generally conceded more. Yeah.
So what this game will be ultimately down to whether we make any mistakes or not, because like you said there, with the 1.5 ratio per game conceded, we've got mistakes in us. We have, and we've got to start eradicating those anyway. Even if we want to really push on, if we're going to win this tournament, we've got to be clinical and not concede, and that's
keeping the scoreline down, because they will score. Keeping the scoreline down in that first leg is just essential.
Well, that's the goal, isn't it?
Yeah, keep it as low as possible, because, like I said, I just feel like the second one, if there's any kind of if it's there, if it's in touching distance, I just feel like we'll go on and do it.
I would expect us to go and approach the game like Liverpool did, right? In terms of, that they're going to throw everything at you, and they've got frightening firepower up front with Dembele and whatnot. But they are, for this game, they are missing Marquinhos, right? Which is a massive loss for them, right? Massive loss. So if we can play the perfect counter-attacking game, right, and we've got the players to hurt people on the counter-attack, like Asensio, Tielemans, those 2 players with passing through the lines, like, will be key. If we are clinical in those areas, then we might have some joy. And like you say, if we can keep the score down to 1, or let's say 2-1, 1-0, whatever, right, we give ourselves a great chance in the return.
But obviously we'll go more into depth with the actual preview when it gets to the game. But obviously this is about our road, our journey there, our journey so far. And like I said, it's not like we've just played easy teams to get here. Like, we drew with Juve, but should have beat Juve.
Mate, we had a perfectly good goal disallowed. Let's be honest.
So we should have beat Juve. We beat Bayern. We beat Leipzig. We beat young boys, but that don't really count. We had a couple of bumps in the road. We obviously had the Bruges loss originally, but then we beat them, absolutely destroyed them over 2 legs, arguably. I feel like there hasn't been a time yet, really, where we kind of sit there and haven't looked like we're in it. Every game, we've always been in it.
Yeah.
We've always been in the conversation.
Even you could argue that first leg in Bruges, where after the first 15 minutes, they were the better side, but we rode that. We kind of defended pretty well. And then, yes, we got a little bit of luck, but we took our opportunities.
We did what good teams do.
I know it's no goal, but you'd think Watkins would have scored if that guy hadn't put it in his own net. And the penalty is good play from us, pressing high to put them under pressure. So we've got it. It's down to us now. Whether the only thing that's going to let us down is the lack of experience for most of this team in playing at this stage of the competition. Now, again, Asensio could be key to that, mate. He's been there, done it. Rashford as well. But Asensio's won it 3 times. His advice and kind of like, this is how we play this fixture. Like, it's because, like you said there, it's not necessarily about going out and trying to win in Paris. It's about keeping the scoreline to something we can overturn if we need to back at Villa Park.
Which Emery will know as well, right? Like I said, we've got one of the most experienced managers in Europe.
Yeah.
We've got one of the most experienced winners in European football in our squad. We've also now got players who have played in the thing like late on at good stages. Like, I just feel, I don't know. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, mate. I just feel like we can definitely do this.
If I'm
And
looking at this
evidently, Emery does, because
yeah.
he was scouted at Madrid.
Yeah, he's already jumped through to the next round. Yeah, Madrid are going to smash Arsenal. Better go and watch them play, get some pointers. I mean, I don't know why you need pointers to play Real Madrid. It's easy. You've just got to contain Rodrigo, Mbappe, Bellingham, and Vinny Jr. No problems.
Pretty simple, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's doable, that is, mate. Because, like you say, Atleti did that. They really did do that.
And the thing is at the end of the day, we play teams we play teams of this level week in, week out in the Premier League. Like, it's not like it's not like we're going from, the Spanish, like mid of the Spanish league or middle of the French league, and you're playing teams you would never usually play every round of the Champions League. All these teams, there's not a huge difference between playing these and playing Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, all those teams in the Premier League.
Well, mate, look how competitive the Premier League is this season.
It's mental.
Like, from the top 10, right? I mean, if you look from 5th to 10th, like, it's 5 points in it, like whatever. It's anyone's to play for with 9 games to go. Like,
I mean, we'll get onto the Premier League in a sec as well, but like, it's also things like PSG. They haven't exactly lit it up throughout the whole of this tournament. They've turned the corner with Liverpool. I think they were quite, they're massive underdogs, and especially after that first leg, they were massive underdogs.
Well, mate, I'm hoping that with the results that we've had
just quickly, by the way, I forgot to say on this graphic, we've never played PSG.
Yeah, mate.
Really?
Well, if we have, could someone let me know on either live on TikTok or live in the comments for this one? Right, because I couldn't find it. There's no head-to-head. That's what came up.
We've never played PSG.
Never played each other.
Someone's got to say on TikTok if that's the case. Surely.
I'm happy to phone. Come on, TikTok buddies, let me know. Have Villa ever played PSG in any capacity, in a friendly, in a European competition?
Probably not.
Like, but from all the magic information I've found on the Tinterweb, there is absolutely nothing that says that we played each other. That it's all the head-to-head stats I found is 0.
But then, so just on, we'll get onto the Premier League stuff in a little bit, just in terms of like, can we get into the Champions League again, that kind of thing. But this is the thing that drives me mad with like European leagues and the Premier League. Not like, our fixture schedules get so rammed. Our fixture, if anything, they want more fixtures in our season. In the European leagues, they apply for like a day off.
Yeah.
Or they apply for like moving a fixture, so they have nothing in between the two legs.
Because, to be fresh as possible, yeah.
Well, because their federation, their like national leagues want their teams to have the best chance of doing well on the European stage. And so they're like, we'll give you that game, so then you can have a rest between the games. It looks like they're not going to get to, right? Because Nantes. Is it Nantes?
Well, I did a little bit about, because I heard this on Friday, and so far it's obviously Monday now. There's been no update on it, but PSG have officially requested for the game to be moved to the following weekend after the second leg, which would be the 22nd or whatever. But Nantes are basically refusing, they're rebuting that, saying, well, that's not fair because we will have 15 days without a game then, and then we have to play 3 games in a week.
Because they're fighting relegation,
and they're only 2 places above the relegation zone in France and only 4 points out of it. And so they basically said, we don't think this is fair to the integrity of the league because PSG are already way out in front and are going to win the league anyway.
Well done, Nantes. Well done.
So, come on, please. But we all know that money talks, and that, like, if PSG pay the right people, that game will be postponed. They won't give a crap about Nantes.
I mean, it's weird. It's interesting, isn't it? Because actually, a lot of our players have said they actually prefer playing more games because they feel sharper. And just unfortunately, like, I don't think their legs agree because they just feel tired from what I can tell.
Well, I know that's probably true in its many forms, but like at this stage of the season, every game counts. Like you just can't keep up the performance. Like any top sports scientist will tell you that your performance levels, you could play 3 games in a week, but there's no way you're going to be playing at the highest level of your performance.
Not at that level.
Not at that level.
Yeah,
You can't.
we could, if we had this, last season we struggled with the at times with the Conference League level, but we actually managed to keep our league performance going because they weren't as demanding as the Champions League would be. That's kind of my theory on it.
Yeah.
But arguably with this squad now, we might have been able to actually manage it even better. Just because we do have more numbers generally, and the squad in general is of a higher quality. Whereas, we're just struggling in those post Champions League games, and it's just because the intensity is so high.
Yeah, but mate, we beat Brentford, and that's kind of turning the corner.
Yeah.
Oh,
come on, please.
Right.
Well, just I mean, I haven't got the table. I should probably get it. But we're a point out, right?
Yeah. The saving grace for us is that our game in between those PSG fixtures is Southampton away. Yeah. So, I mean, they're dreadful, and hopefully we could rest a few players and still come away with a victory there. I'd like to think we've got enough to beat Southampton. Yeah. And if they lose the next couple of games, they'll be as good as relegated anyway, so they'll have literally nothing to play for. So let's hope that we can do the business, mate,
Yeah, I mean, this is where it's looking at the moment. A little bit of wrong tab. I'm trying to zoom in for you.
Zoom.
Yeah, so obviously 2 points at the moment off 6. 3 points off Man City. Is this right?
Yeah, that's right. That is right. I looked at it this morning. Look,
but we've got so many of these. I mean, that Brighton game's huge.
Yeah. Well, look, the saving grace is it's in our hands, as I said on last week's episode, because ultimately we've got to play Bournemouth, we've got to play Brighton, we've got to play Newcastle, we've got to play Man City, right? We've got to play Forest, right? These are all games that we now have to win. Like it's a big ask, right? But you win those games, and then we've got a great chance of finishing 5th. But it starts. And that game on the 2nd of April, really, against Brighton. It's massive week.
Brighton then Forest.
Brighton then Forest. So it's going to be a week back after this international break. Is Preston in the FA Cup on the Friday, then we'll have Brighton on the Wednesday, and then Forest on the Saturday.
Wow,
Mate,
what a week!
What a week!
We keep saying this, right? We actually keep saying this this season. We keep going what a week, massive week. And it's just because every game, because we're in the Champions League, because we've got just every game's massive. And that, even the Preston game, game's huge to get through to the semi-finals.
Semi-final, trip to Wembley, yeah.
I completely forgot.
Yeah.
Look at the FA Cup. It is actually turning into, possibly an absolutely incredible season.
Here's the question: if you're Emery, what do you prioritise there? The FA Cup or the Champions League? Which is the one? Because the FA Cup is probably more likely, right? More of a chance with what teams are left.
Do you have to prioritise one or the other? Because they're played at different, because the FA Cup's playing on the weekend, not playing midweek. The Champions League sandwiched either side of Prem more. So I think it's more about, are you going for Champions League and FA Cup, or Premier League and FA Cup? It's Premier League or Champions League that you're prioritising.
Yeah. But in terms of where Villa stand at the moment, with the barren trophy cabinet that's been missing since 1996, right?
God. If we beat Prem, he's got to go all out. He's got to go all out to win the FA Cup for me.
Yeah. And you think of the nostalgia of the FA Cup and what it means to older generations
of
fans.
You think that'll trump all them Geordies?
But
they've waited all that time for this trophy, and then we go and win the FA Cup.
I was listening to TalkSport after the Newcastle game yesterday, and they had this guy ring up, and he was with his son. He was only 7 or something. Mate, the joy that they were shared on that radio was like,
of course, yeah.
Oh, I want that for me and Ava. I want that for me and Ava. I want us to go to Wembley and see my team win a trophy. It would be beyond brilliant, right? Now, so I'm talking about that because we spoke about this before as well, where I said, when I was a kid, the FA Cup was massive for me. As an event, whoever was playing in it, it would be a day. Everyone that I knew would be sat around a TV watching it somewhere. Now, unfortunately, in this modern day age of football, the Champions League for Villa makes more economical sense, and for growth of the club, it's pivotal that we get the qualification to the Champions League again to grow.
I was going to say, do you mean qualifying again, not winning it?
Yeah, well, yeah, but
obviously, if you win it, you qualify. But what I mean is, it okay? Okay, to put it this way, is it more important to make the final or to qualify again?
It's to qualify again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So you would say that for me, the FA Cup and the league is the most priority because that's our best chance of getting Champions League qualification. Because I don't get me wrong, we can win the Champions League as we spoke about at the side, but we're going to have
five games, and we don't even need to win them all.
We're going to have 3 massive games where we're going to have to win 3 of the 5, aren't we, to progress and win the final. And if we got to the final, then I wouldn't bet against them, really. Like, whoever's got up against in that final, the teams that are left, he's the most experienced manager.
But it'd be a repeat.
I imagine. I know.
Bayern in
Munich. Oh, my God, mate. Imagine. If that happens, I'm on holiday for the Champions League final, but I am going to Munich.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, absolutely the same.
That would be written in the stars, wouldn't it? It would be absolutely incredible.
Well, you start the Champions League campaign with a win over Bayern at home.
Yeah.
And you end the Champions League campaign with a win over Bayern away from home. That would be, mate, that's stuff movies are made from.
That's a Netflix documentary right there, isn't it?
The trip to and from Bayern.
Yeah, the road to Munich, an Aston Villa story. Come on, who's not viewing that? I'd even buy a DVD for our younger listeners. That's a disc that you can watch films on.
One question I had for you: is there anyone still watching you on TikTok?
Yes, mate. We've got Brittany Elizabeth just joined. Hi, Brittany. Thanks.
Okay, but what I mean is, what I was going to ask you is, can you ask them, or anyone down in the comments? I mean, if you've made it 26 minutes, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well done. Down in the comments, who is Aston Villa's top Champions League / European Cup?
Okay, TikTok, don't let me down here. Who is Aston Villa's leading European goal scorer? Is that fair to say?
No, Champions League or European Cup, not UEFA, not
so
Europa League.
Just Champions League and European Cup.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
So from the 8
give me if you got the top, great, but I can give you the top 5 if you want them. Okay. So top 1, who are we thinking?
Gary Shaw.
Yeah, Gary Shaw. Gary Shaw with 7.
Yeah.
7 goals. Number 2.
Morgan Rogers?
No. Morley.
Tony Morley, 6. I bet has he scored 6?
Yeah, 6. Yeah.
I knew that. Why did I say Morgan Rogers?
Number 3.
Morgan Rogers.
No.
Oh.
Peter With, mate.
How many European goals? 5. Okay.
Got 5. Okay. Number 4 was from this season.
Morgan Rogers.
It's
I've got to get it right.
Eventually, it'll be right. So number 4 is actually joint. 3 players have all got the same amount. So Rogers got 3. Duran's got 3.
Yuri Tillemans?
Now, no. Marco Asensio, mate.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, Asensio with 3 goals. What? Sorry, hang on 1 sec. Jess has just come in to water my plant. So she's decided to come and do that. So Jess is going to be on YouTube. That's great. Yeah. Go on, you can go water the plant.
It's important to water.
No, you're not going to be in it. No, it's fine.
What a wonderful wife you've got there, mate.
Mate, she's been trying to get me to water this plant because it's basically dying. I did say to her that I wanted a fake plant, not a real plant, because I could not be trusted to keep.
Yeah, mate. I don't do live plants. Like, it's just.
Yep. Anyone from work watching this now is going to be having fun. No, I've got another 5 minutes. It's fine. Anyway, I mean, that is coming to the end of it anyway, mate.
Yeah.
But yes, Shaw, Morley with Duran, Rogers, and Asensio.
Oh, there you go. Asensio already. He's only been there.
Most appearances
in Europe.
Champions League, European Cup.
Gordon Cowans.
Yeah, man. Gordon Cowans, Mortimer, and Bremner, and with all of 15. All on 15.
Indeed. Mate, that's what we need. To get those numbers up and working, we need to be back in the competition again, don't we?
Before this, we got a great record in the Champions League. Before this, we'd won 9 of our 15 games. Like, it's pretty good to be fair.
Well, mate, it's just been so long, and like I say, overall, what a journey it's been that we're sitting here talking about a potential quarterfinal upset of beating Paris. Like, I just
to even sit here, even talking about dreaming about possibly winning the thing, with it actually, being possible, is just madness.
Mate, I love the fact that it's an underdog story. No one expects it from us. Everyone thinks we're going to go out in this quarterfinal
with the biggest underdogs left, right? Like, as in, there's no one.
Yeah. All the others have been consistently over the last 10 years, mate, and they've got all the experience. Barcelona are the ones to watch. But even watching them, like their game against Atleti in the La Liga, they were 2-0 down. They came back and won 4-2, right? But they're defensively again, they're not great. No, going forward, they're frightening. They've got like unbelievable attack. But there are vulnerabilities in these teams, each and every one of those. In fact, I would say, arguably, the most difficult team to beat there, it would be Inter.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think Inter
they're so well defensively organised. They will frustrate us. They won't necessarily come at us. They will just pick us off, and that
I think that's why I just kind of sit here and go, we can do this, because they're all going to come at us. They're all going to try and have a go. None of them are going to sit on it. None of them are going to kind of play a low block or anything. We got broke down. Like,
mate, look at the course of the season.
It even only takes 1 minute moment of madness, like against Bruges, and they get a player sent off or something, and all of a sudden there's gaps. It's just.
Well, mate, most of the games that we've played top tier teams in the top sides in the Premier League, we've been well in the games. We've probably arguably played our better football. There's only Chelsea that really demolished us away at Stamford Bridge. Other than that, even in that Liverpool game at Anfield, we lost 2-0. We should have come. We had chances galore to score. And this is the difference in this stage of the competition. If we get that chance, we've got to take it. We've got to take it.
Watkins has got to take it.
Watkins, I'll take it all back. If you turn up in the Champions League and get us to the Champions League final and win it for us, mate, I'll personally build a statue for you outside of the McGregor Square. I'll knock that McGregor statue down and build a little plasticine of you. That's what it'll be, right? That's all I can afford. But if you watch this, you will know that's massive for me. building a plasticine statue of Watkins. I'll start work on it right now. Get it ready.
You can leave pictures or do a kind of a video blog of you trying to make that over the weeks. That'd be great.
Basically, I'll just look like Morph.
Anyway, right. Thank you, everyone. If you've managed to get to 32 minutes of us waffling on whatever we've just been chatting on, anyone still on TikTok?
Yeah, mate, we're still there. People still joining the live. It's crazy.
I can't believe it. I don't understand this. It's mental.
Get to school and work, you losers.
Anyway, as always, thank you, everyone, for joining and for watching. If you love this and you want to see more, then do subscribe. We always forget to say this at the start, but who cares? Like it, subscribe. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Have you enjoyed the Champions League? Do you think we can win it? Yes. Can we win it?
Let us know. And also tune in later on this week, probably Wednesday or Thursday, for our England special.
I think we'll be doing something around Villa England players, how they rank for us, that kind of thing. Big moments that we remember. Obviously, one very, very close to the memory is Ollie Watkins in the semi-final with that 93rd minute goal. Can he do it again on a European stage for us against PSG?
Mate, let's see. Maybe TikTok people will do that. We'll do it live again, and you can come with your favourite England moments from a Villa player. Mine personally, David Platt, 1990 World Cup. Injury time winner in extra time.
Graham, my father-in-law always says David Platt has a really big face. I don't know why. He always has this thing, he always tries to get it trending on Twitter. It's like hashtag big face Platt. Big face. He just thinks David Platt's got a massive face.
Mate, I'm a fan because he also shares the same birthday as my wife, 10th of June. So, big soft spot for David Platt. We can
get him on one day at some point. Never know.
You never know, mate. You never know. Get him out of retirement.
As always, guys, so sign us off.
Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue.
Cheers,
Peace
guys.
and love, people.